Hello and welcome, Richa. Okay, we'll start in a couple of minutes. One second. So yeah, welcome everyone. You guys want to give a short intro? Those who are able to speak. Ravi, you want to go first?
Sure. So I'm Ravi. I have 3 years of experience in full stack development. I've completed my graduation in computer science engineering from Indore. Uh, I'm new to blockchain and Web3 environment. Recently started learning. It's been around last 2 to 3 months I've been learning, and I've recently joined the Ocean Ambassador program. Yeah, that's from my side.
Awesome. And you're making a submission, right? Uh, how much submissions are
Yes.
you aiming?
uh, like I'm going to submit in the core tech bounty,
Okay,
the comment side. Yeah.
got it, got it. Yeah, anyone else wants to go next? Give a short intro.
Sure, I can go ahead. Hi,
Yeah, go
This
ahead.
is Sri Lakshmi. I'm not from a tech background. I've done my master's in fashion retail management, but I'm in the Web3 space from about May. I am a co founder of an NFT marketplace called Naksh, which is not yet launched, but we're hoping to launch in a week or two if everything goes well. So yeah, and I joined Ocean One to expand my knowledge in the Web3 space. I'm also part of the Ocean Ambassador program, and my major contribution would be generally towards marketing and creative management. That would be me, guys.
Yeah, you could also tell a bit about the Phoenix Guild program as well and how your learnings
Yeah,
have
I
been
was
so far.
just going to say, I was just going to
Yeah.
ask her to talk about that. Hi, guys, I'm Nivedita. So, Laksh and I, we're co founders of Naksh, which is an NFT marketplace. Both of us were introduced to Ocean through Gyan and Krati. So, the four of us right now have been helping run the Phoenix Guild. And we met Prakash also, during that. And we're now, part of the Indian Ocean community as well. So, yeah, for the hackathon, we're planning on submitting maybe some media bounties, like participating in some media bounties. So that's what we've thought of so far.
Okay, that's interesting to hear. I think the first time I hear, I was actually not sure about how entries will come for the media bounty because I was mostly hearing discussions on writers, core tech, and a few others. Yeah, it's nice to see some upcoming entries that are coming up. Yes, and Richa, are you available for speaking?
Yeah, hi. So I'm an economics student. I'm an undergrad at Delhi University, and I'm just exploring this whole Web3 and crypto space. Yesterday only I joined this Telegram group, and so I'm exploring basically. I don't know about much of the stuff, but yeah, I'm curious about it.
Awesome, awesome. That's good to know. So even now, it's not too late. You can always form. I mean, either join existing squad or form new squad and try to make some entries. Yeah, I think based on your background, everything given the previous speakers, I think it's also nice to know that nice to know that a lot of people also recognize that it's not just the tech background that counts. It's about what drive you want to how you want to contribute to Web3 as well. So to give a better intro about Ocean, so Ocean is also kind of chain agnostic, not specific to even though it's Ethereum based. There are a lot of scopes for a lot of community-based outreach activities, technical outreach. So much things are possible in the space, and especially a bit of a concentration on data science and AI. So before that, forming the decentralized data protocol was the first aim of the protocol. But apart from that, there is so much that you can build around Ocean, not just the tech background, other skills also come into play. So that was the main focus behind this hackathon as well. So if you look at the, I'll just post the link in the chat so that there is some more um, visibility of the quests that are happening. So there are around 8 tracks. So only around 2 to 3 are based out of tech background. So few, most others are like based on writing, media, design as well. Design, there are actually a couple of them on designs. Apart from that, you also have the ambassador challenge where it enables you to submit an additional entry and you can gain from the ambassador prize pool as well. That is one. And of course, always advise people to take write in combo, choose a close enough topic on writers and combine it with something else that gives you a better leverage because you can submit for more than one track. So that is the thing that we like to see. And during the sessions, to give some more understanding and help for those who can watch this session afterwards as well. So we'll try to give some open mentoring session of sorts. So based on what you have come up so far, at least discuss the contents in general, and we can provide you some additional guidance. Ravi, do you want to go first because I think we have been wanting to clarify some of your doubts much earlier, right?
Uh, sure. So, should I like show my idea or like
Yeah, you can. So
okay?
there is no possibility. I mean, there is not much chance of people taking your idea. Right? You're already proven that you're the first. So even if someone
No,
copies,
no,
it's
no.
not. It's not competitive.
No,
Just in, okay.
I just want to know if like the session is starting and like we can
Yeah,
start
we
doing.
started. It's already live
Okay.
on YouTube as well. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I will just share my screen and start showing.
Sure. Yeah.
Uh, you guys can see my screen.
It's loading. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So basically, in the core tech bounty, there was one category to build a platform around comments and rating section. So as we can see that currently, if you can explore the data sets on Ocean Marketplace, you will see that there are the section having the information about the data set and what type of the data sample. But that currently there is no particular section which showcase the comments or ratings done by the other people on that particular data set or algorithm. So we introduce like as we know that Ocean Marketplace is going to scale in the future, and there can be multiple data marketplaces in the future. So our idea is our idea is that we will build a separate comments and rating platform, a different repo, a different code repo, which will be easily integrated, which the integration of which is going to be very easy with any of the data marketplace. So how we are going to do is that we will create a UI, uh, which was basically a HTML code and having a script to run the data storage and other things. And that part you can embed it into your marketplace, or you will just be able to add that particular UI section into your marketplace. And now how this whole thing is going to work is that mm, just one. Oh, uh, okay, sorry. You guys still you guys can still see my screen?
Yeah, we can see.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So the solution is that for different marketplaces, there will be an integration for the UI, and this UI you can add on any data marketplace. Okay. Uh, how we are going to handle this? That from this particular UI section, there will be a scripts, or there will be a particular in the Web2 language, if I can say that, you can think of it as an API call, or from there uh, and we will be storing this all the comments and rating on a decentralized storage like Filecoin or storage. So for every integration, the users can comment on the data set with the help of like they will be asked to log in via like they will first need to connect their MetaMask wallet with the Ocean, which they will already do if they are going to explore that particular data set. And now in the particular UI section, they will make a comment, and this particular comment will be stored in a decentralized storage like storage or Filecoin. So this is a use case diagram, like basically how your user is going to interact with the particular service, and how the whole things is going to work. So consider that this is the Ocean UI, or any marketplace in the future. You will integrate like the owners of that particular marketplace will integrate our UI, our comments UI section into their platform. In this particular fashion, it will display. And when the user is going to is going to load a particular data set, the comments call will be made to our particular comment service or the smart contract. And from that smart contract, it will make a call to the decentralized storage. So just to brief like how the decentralized storage work. Uh, so in the decentralized storage, what we are going to do, but all the comments related to a particular data set. So if you have gone through the Ocean Marketplace, there is a unique DID which is generated on every data set. So what we are going to do is that we are going to use this particular DID to load to write all our comments in a particular file. Consider it's a JSON file, or like a normal CSV file, if in a normal terms. So all the comments will be right corresponding to that particular DID in a particular file, and that file will be stored on a decentralized manner. So it will be that file will be uh, like it will be partitioned into multiple parts, and it will be distributed across multiple storage nodes, and uh, uh, it will be distributed across multiple decentralized nodes, and it will be stored in on that particular nodes. And when the user want to load the comments, he will make a call to our UI. Like he will just load the page, and from our UI section a call will be made. The hash of the particular file will be called, and all the comments will be loaded for that particular users into comment section. So benefit of this particular thing is that, consider a thing that currently if a user is using Ocean Marketplace, now he has some particular data set which he has applied or he has published on Ocean Marketplace, and all the comments corresponding to that particular marketplace are done here. Now in future, if he wants to move to a different platform other than Ocean, he can move that, because there can be multiple data marketplace. He just need to ensure that the DID is same. That can be done, because as we know, the Ocean code is open source, and you can create new marketplace by forking the same repo. So he can easily move his data set from one place to another marketplace, and if he can just integrate our UI, all the comments will be common on both the marketplace. So this is the how the comments and rating section is work. This is a very brief idea. Coming to workflow and all the things how we are going to handle it. So basically, as I mentioned, all the comments will be stored corresponding to a DID, which is unique for each Ocean dataset. The comment service is our smart contract which we are going to create. This smart contract will deal with all the calling the hash of the particular storage from the decentralized platform. And how the rating is going to work, what we are going to do, that in our smart contract we are using one particular formula, that because every time users are going to do a rating, uh, doing computation every time for a user will be a complex things. And as we know that storage is really complex on the smart contract end. So in our smart contract, other than the hash of like this is the format of our smart contract, and all the fields which are going to be in our smart contract, there will be a public address. What is the use of user public address? Like in future, if like there is one more use case which I will explain later on. But what we can do, we can fetch the username and user information through public address, the comment he made, and the rating he provided. This is the general format of the smart contract, or the date. This is the general format of the data which we are going to write in the in our DID decentralized file. So this is the way in which we are going to write the data. Other than this, there will be few more things in our smart contract. There will be a average rating. So how we are going to do, like every time a comment is made, the average rating will be calculated at that particular time, the number of users who has done the comment at that particular time, and the new rating will be there. So these three fields will be still in the smart contract. Okay, and other than this, in the smart contract there will be a mapping of all the comments which are made and all the ratings. So this is the basic structure of the smart contract, and this is the basic structure of the file in the data which we are going to write in the file. So this is about the smart contract. One last thing, if this is idea is approved, so actually we want to reward the program. Like if a data publisher or a data consumer, like someone is going to purchase the data from the Ocean UI, now if he is going through the comments and the rating, and if he found that this particular comment was helpful for him, or like this particular section of users has helped him to review the particular data set in a better way, he can reward the particular data set. What he will do, he will like the data consumer is going to pay for the data set, and a part of the data set will be distributed equally in all the users who has commented on this particular platform. So this is a reward thing. So it will help the users to increase the engagement on the platform, and if there is a reward, there are more chances that people are going to vote and review the data set. So this is the key parts. This is the whole workflow, and this is the UI, and this is the details about the smart contract. There are few challenges which we are still not sure about how we are going to do if we going to implement it. but I think that are not currently in the scope of this particular section. So
Got it. Yeah, that's a really good plausible submission there. Yeah, to summarize and the entire problem statement and solution. So Ravi and Rishabh have picked up a problem statement on comments and ratings. Usually, in traditional marketplaces, whatever comments and ratings that you provide to any data asset, if at all there is a provision, usually that's controlled by a centralized entity, and there is always subject to change. You can always moderate a lot of comments, right? Not a lot of public control is there in that. So to avoid that, in the ocean marketplace where you have a lot of data assets in the marketplace, there needs to be a provision. There could be a use case for a provision where you are able to provide as a data consumer in terms of whether the data asset was valuable or not. So that's why we are having to work with specific smart contracts so that all the data that is stored is kind of immutable. So that is why you have all these cryptographic flows that need to be in place. Yeah, I think coming to your user flow, it's pretty good. The only place probably you can optimize for, I mean, we'll try to take this at the end again. If I'll go through this again and see if I can add some more feedback on that, because I think the rewards system should not be gamified a bit. Apart from that, most of the things, because it's not reward only the positive way. It should be, I think the reviewing should be done by the people themselves, right? Let's, for example, if you look at the Amazon marketplace, right? If someone posts a 1-star comment and there are other people who found it useful, then that review is valuable. It's not just 1 or 5. It's about how many people find the review useful. Maybe you can think from that angle, and probably Rishabh can help in terms of how this can be verified in terms of the hash flow as well.
Yeah. So we have already thought about that, and so for example, people liking or supporting the comment, and then they can directly get a transaction because we already have the public address of the commentator, whoever did the comment, so he can directly do a transaction and send the money or send any kind of token, reward, anything. So we have that covered.
So adding to Rishabh's point, like that reward point is still not completed. Like it's going to be extra part. Like if we are going to, we need a more thought process on that.
Sure. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, we can come back to this again because here that I think this is good enough to turn into a proposal as well. So let's see if how we can sort that out, optimize for a proposal towards the end of the session. And so anyone else who wants to go next in terms of what they want to discuss? This could be from the other entries as well.
Hi, I just want to add some words. Maybe my background is disturbing since I'm traveling. Can you hear my voice? Can I speak ahead?
Yes.
It's clear.
Yeah. Sure, Ravi, it was a great presentation. I actually liked the idea, and it was great, like decentralized comment sharing. I have a similar, like a decentralized medical data sharing. I have all the concepts you have, like the architecture diagram and the interaction diagram and workflow, everything I have drafted. The only issue is I don't know the coding part. That's why I'm not making any submission now. Maybe I just have to dig deep into Web3 and learn I am lagging in the implementation part. Like I was curious, how are you going to implement it? Maybe I guess you will be doing a presentation after the implementation also, so that I can have a look, to get an idea about how it will be implemented in the technical side, since I'm just exploring the tech side recently only. So maybe in the next hackathon, I'll try to submit this proposal. I have been working on this for a few months now. Yeah, I hope I'll also be contributing in the upcoming months.
Sure, Divya. I'm also I'm also new to this Web3 and blockchain ecosystem, but I think we can make a proposal right now. I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, Prakash.
Sure. Yeah, I think what you can still do is so you can have actually a very general outflow in terms of a general data use case, right? Like if you notice the other proposal, I think I pointed you towards, called Data Fountain. So it has a medical lab report use case as well, but the framework is going to be very general. So it's something that you keep exploring on different frameworks that are reusable in specific use cases. So you can always try to see how your specific use cases can be converted to a general architecture. So when you do that, it's much more easier for people to contribute. So that will be one way you can actually look at. And also we can explore anytime. We'll also find a way so that we'll form some kind of grants program so that there can be additional support to you in the upcoming before the next grant proposal as well, because these monthly grants happen every month. If you're not confident, you can always keep improving the proposals, and it keeps coming in every month. So we can go ahead accordingly as well.
Okay, that will be good in the upcoming this hackathon discussion groups. Maybe one day I'll give a presentation so that you guys can tell me where I stand, and you can give some such constructive comments, also feedback, like just how you gave now. Will that be good, sir? Can I make a presentation in the upcoming days?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Definitely, we can do that. After the hackathon, we can make a plan for that.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Sure. So Rishabh, are you going for any other submission for this hackathon? Apart from the comments and ratings that was presented?
For comment and decision will be for hackathon as well as proposal, and my personal would be that was decentralized social media, that I will do for only grant and earmark.
Correct. Fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That as we will take that towards the end as well in terms of how we can support for the proposal after sufficient people have presented their other doubts as well. Yeah. So Sri Lakshmi and Nivita, you guys want to have any feedback on the other submissions that you want to make? I think you guys are still on mute. Let's see. So any other updates on the meme submissions that I had put out previously?
Hey, sorry, I think I missed the past couple of minutes. Had some internet issues. Sorry, regarding the meme, yeah, we are working on it. So I think we'll have like one or two more submissions probably in an hour or two. We're just waiting for Gyan. We're collaborating with her and giving some submissions. We have some ideas planned. We just want our content to be correct. So probably in an hour or two, we'll give out one or two more memes from our side, from the TPG.
Awesome. So that's going to be like a media submission of sorts?
No, I think it's for the meme DAO, if I'm not wrong.
Okay. Sure. I was curious if it will be like a straight up meme, or you're making some plan for video memes also. Just
no,
curious.
I think the ones that right now what we've planned is just straight up memes. But
Okay,
for
cool.
the media bounty, we were thinking that we'll make some educational video sorts of thing. So that's something that we're thinking of separate apart from the meme.
Cool. Yeah, sure. Got it. And so Nivedita, are you attempting any specific separate bounties apart from Lakshmi was mentioned?
Oh, not really. We're actually planning on speaking to Gyan about it, but we're doing the same as of now. I'm helping out with that. Yeah.
Sure, go for it. Always try to, if possible, you can always go for more than one submission.
Yeah,
when you
for
have
sure.
time. Yeah. There could be some special rewards after if you go for more than one submission. Just putting it out there.
Oh, cool. No, with in terms of media bounty, we were actually planning one or two because I think Gyan wanted to do some videos where she's talking about some things in the Web3 space and in Ocean. And we thought we'll do more like an animated video version. So let's see. A couple of things we've planned, but with the time and also our Naksh launch coming up, we're a little bit packed. So let's see what we can pull out and submit.
Okay, I didn't know that you had animated videos also in the store. That's cool. Cool to hear.
So let's see what can be done from us.
Got it. Sure. So Divya, are you attempting another submission in the writer's bounty, right?
Yes, yes, Prakash. I'll be concentrating on a writing bounty tomorrow, and yeah, I'll make sure I do at least 2 submissions. It before the end of 31st night, right? Sure, then I'll do it.
Yes.
Prakash, the deadline for grant is on first Feb
31st. No, it's 31st. Grant is one more day. You have one more day for that. One more day, and it's deadline midnight as per GMT.
Okay.
So you have one reserved day for that. That is one. So you have I was just thinking, what else we can. Do you have a specific template ready for the grant proposal yet?
Not really.
Okay.
But
usually for first time submission, keep it very short and simple. You don't, of course, apart from the project details, you don't need to get confused by the other ones. For example, if you go have a look at Core Tech WG rewards, it's very simple, right? So for that proposal, very little details are there. It's just a macro and others are all tactics. I think you are also part of the call. So it's pretty simple. But the only different change will be like we just focus on what you mean to deliver in the first epoch. It could take 1 or 2 months, however it matters. And then you outline the remaining.
So, Prakash, for the grant proposal, do we need to create our proposal right now and or should we first present this particular idea to the core team and then we should start creating a draft?
So usually what Rishabh's one got the year mark. For you, I think you still have time. I'll tell you why. Because once the proposal is submitted, you still have like 3 or 4 days time before the voting goes live. There's something called the due diligence period. So during that time, we have a demo. You can make the demo on Wednesday. So Wednesday is February the 2nd. So you have 1 hour time in that. You can make a demo and request if that can be part of the Cortec earmark as well. So then once it gets approved, it will get automatically updated in the project database. So earmark means you just have to compete with other people who are submitting for the Cortec ideas. That's the. But even if that is not approved, just giving you a backup, but it will still get accepted as part of the general grants.
Okay, and
that's how it works.
Just one thing, like for the demo, is there any particular pattern do we have to follow to showcase this before the Cortec team, or this particular idea which are like a Google Doc document is sufficient?
Nothing like that. So I think Rishabh might give you an idea. He just presented gave a video demo of the one that he had. Then he explained along the way. So similarly, you can show your write-up and give a description of what you have done. That should be sufficient.
Okay.
And another, of course, you will always get you can always get the additional mentoring as well, so that your proposal is good enough before you. So that you can make some changes after submission as well, because you have the editing option on the discourse.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one.
Guys, can I attend the demo session also so that I'll get an idea? Because usually in our university, the scholars, they'll be just presenting their results. So I lost touch in how they do the implementation and all. Actually, I don't want to be frank here. Like, so can I have a look at the demo session? Like when he's give me an
Yeah.
idea.
So
Okay.
usually these demos are very lightweight. I mean, it won't be as strict as you expect in your colleges and institutes. So here they just give you feedback on the fundamentals, and of course, I think the call will happen on Discord. So if you're part of the Discord Ocean Protocol server, then you can actually attend.
Yeah, I'm already a part of it, so I'll have a look. I hope it'll be some more in detail than the usual review meetings that we conduct in college. They'll be only focusing on the abstract sessions, and finally the result. Result will be just a graph, like comparing how far it is better than the existing. So we miss out the details exactly what is being done. They don't focus much on that. Maybe that's why I'm lagging there. No worries. Look, I'll improve. Okay. Thank you for making me a part of that. I'll attend for sure.
Sure. So you here it's usually how do you call it? It's more of a preview presentation, right? Like a lot of times when people submit some part of it, when you have a prior work to it, it increases the chance of getting voted. So here, at least if you give a really convincing framework, you get the necessary votes. Yeah. So that's the part I was wanting to mention. Yeah.
Yeah, after attending one or two sessions, I'll get an idea mostly. And only after joining the ocean for at least after 5 days only, I realized what is the meaning of a bounty actually. Before that, Gyan will be saying bounty, but I don't know what is bounty, what are they saying. Yeah, so if I'm participating in these sessions regularly, I'll get to know more about the ocean and your initiatives.
Got it. Sure.
Guys, I'll probably have to drop out for a bit. I'll join back probably in half an hour or so.
Sure, no problem. Yeah.
Okay.
In the meantime, do you want to give a short intro about the Naksh marketplace as well? That's upcoming. I think there's also.
Hi.
Yeah.
Oh, so about Naksh. But actually, so Naksh is, I mean, yeah, like I told you, it's an NFT marketplace. How Laksh and I started were we basically applied to a hackathon, but this was on the Near protocol. So we applied to the hackathon and they liked our idea, which was we wanted to bring artists from India who do like their work on traditional mediums, which is paper, cloth, canvas, those kind of things. So we wanted to give them the space on the digital medium, which is right now, everyone's doing NFTs in the like whoever practice digital art. So we wanted to give traditional mediums and traditional art a platform in the same space. That's why we started Naksh. So we also intend to make a few of the art redeemable when it comes to traditional art, and this is our first version. So once we have our second version and we plan that out, we'll have digital artists also on board. So if any of you have interest in becoming a digital artist or are a collector, you can just check out naksh.org. Yeah.
Awesome. So during the hackathon, did you guys collaborate with a specific developer or you
No,
onboard the developer later?
So the thing about this hackathon was so Laksh and I are both non-tech. Lakshmi and I are both non-tech. We knew about blockchain partially because of Gyan and also because we learned about like supply chain, those kind of things when we were studying. But that's it, right? So I think around May 2021, that's when we applied for the hackathon and we just put an idea out there. So it was split into rounds. And the first round was the idea. Like you just need to put your idea out there. Once you get selected, you get like a bounty sort of thing. Then the second round was a video and then the third was like a proper pitch, and the fourth was actually the GitHub submission. But Laksh and I were totally new to it. We didn't know how to navigate it itself, so we just kind of skipped that round. But someone found us, so we let them know that we won't be participating in the fourth one because we don't know how to do it. And someone contacted us from the council itself, and they were like, why don't you submit this up for a grant, because I haven't, they hadn't seen a project like it before, so they wanted us to kind of build on near. So once we got that go ahead, they were like, we'll be eligible for the grant program as well, and we applied for the grant, we got it, and then we onboarded a few developers there. They also have no experience with smart contracts, nothing, so they are also learning along with us from Gyan and on their own.
Got it. That's really nice. So actually, this happens in a few hackathons also. Sometimes we think 95% of the time people think, okay, coding is the only thing that matters. But when you turn the submission that you have had the satisfaction, you have actually done something half decent or more than decent, people actually appreciate that.
Yeah.
So it's nice to hear that you guys were able to make a really good submission. That's catching the attention also matters, because not all winning entries get the grants. So you always get people contacting you, and sometimes it's almost the winning entries might not even try to make it commercially successful, but the ones that add value to commercial value, like you guys, I think it matters a lot. Nice to know that.
We were actually working back then. Laksh was working a full-time job, and I was also working mine. And this was kind of like, something that we had a few ideas, and we felt like it might be a good place to start. So we just put it out there, and because we got such great response, we also kind of had the confidence to go forward. So that's what, when we were when we got the opportunity to join Phoenix Guild, we were like, there might be so many people like us who have no idea about the opportunities in the Web3 space. So there might be a lot of us who, if given the opportunity, they'd also do something with what they're getting.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, regardless of tech or non-tech.
Yeah, Nivedita, I really appreciate your you're being trusting in this crypto space, and you are making initiatives on NFTs and all. Despite being from the CS domain, I see most of the techies even not believing in crypto. It's it's a total scam. It will go away. It's just something like that. But you have taken the risk, and you have proved yourself. And I'd like to congratulate you, and good luck with your venture on your upcoming thing, which you are going to launch in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, thank you.
Congrats.
I just feel like I feel like people now are getting to know that blockchain's here to stay. Blockchain and crypto are something that's, it's obviously not a scam, because there are too many people, doing it. It can't be such a big scam that everyone's falling into it. But
maybe they might have.
It will take time. It'll take time. It's like everything that happened in the world. It's just like the beginning, I guess. So the more the number of people try out bounties, try hackathons, kind of experience it themselves, that's when people, it'll automatically
get to
it's
trust
such a
in
process.
this.
Yeah, it's a process.
Yeah, even from 2018, my cousins, they are actually investing in crypto, but
Right.
I still don't believe it. Actually, they say you are from CS domain, you might have helped us. We would have invested in crypto in the earlier years itself. But I personally don't trust it, because the lack of trust happens when we don't know what's happening.
Exactly.
I really don't know. Just now I started exploring, and I push my cousins, say invest in NFTs, invest here, there. I'll be pushing them, and they tease me actually. What a changeover in this 1 month, they'll be saying.
I'm just bad at investing in general, so I won't specifically say crypto versus non-crypto. I'm just bad generally. So I I need to educate myself when it comes to things like this. So I feel like it's the same for everyone. I'm just generally bad, so I won't count me in this.
Yeah, crypto is big enough that everybody can have their instance, I think. Like people can invent and people can develop, people can just
That's
there to write the documentation and everything. So yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
So just one question on Nivedita. What
Yeah.
exactly is Gyan? Matlab, I don't know about it. Is it a DAO or is it a
Oh,
hackathon?
No, the
No,
short
no,
form
so-
for Jnana Lakshmi, actually,
Yeah,
the head of Phoenix Guild.
Okay.
Yeah, so we just call her
Okay.
Gyan because it's I mean we just call her that. So
Oh,
she's actually she's the one who set up like the Phoenix Guild, and her and Krati actually, and we were also very interested in doing something in this, you know, kind of like getting more women on board, and we wanted to help more like, you know, just people who don't know the opportunities out there. We wanted to get them, so that's why Lakshmi and I also joined. So Gyan has been the one who's been doing all of the Web3 onboarding sessions and stuff. So those videos are on the Telegram group. We can share that with you if you'd like to see what she's done. Yeah.
sure.
And she's also part of a couple of projects, you know, in her own this thing. She's also the tech advisor for Naksh, which is why we've been surviving for so long, I think. When
Okay.
it comes to like building our platform. So whatever doubts we have, we go to her.
Okay.
But Ravi has actually given us great content here. So this is anyway live on YouTube. So one of you can
Right, it is. I saw.
you can go clip it and send it to her as meme content. Maybe she can actually start her own Gyan-DAO. So DAO for Gyans as well.
Yeah, Gyan is actually a great motivator also. Actually, I have screenshotted a few of her words when I actually felt low. So she really pushes us to contribute more, and she'll say like it's okay. Everyone is new. She's already been 2 years in this space, but still she says I am also still learning. I am also a beginner like you. So we can add that also to her list or motivator.
I let her know. She was supposed to join, but I think she's on, like, you know, she might be stuck with some other work.
Yeah, she's also part of the mentors in Solana India Fellowship as well. So she's really a great resource for a lot of Web3 stuff as well.
Right.
And yesterday's Twitter space also was really amazing. I think it was the only first time I saw so much developers in one place. Female developers. It's usually the return ratio when you put out something. If you get 30 responses, it'll be like 1 or 2 will be females. But the first time I saw so much people at one place, it was really
And
nice to see.
we were also very pleasantly surprised because we weren't expecting, like, you know, a lot of people to join our first space. So, like, we were also very pleasantly surprised by the end of it.
That's nice to see. I think we might be having more entries from Phoenix Guild as well. That'll be nice to see.
No.
Yeah, yesterday's session was actually like getting to know each other. Like before that, I just knew the names in the Telegram chat. But yesterday only I realized like where they come from, what's their background and everything. It was like having a break time with the friends and getting to know each other. And like women usually connect when they speak more. And yeah, that's what, yeah, so I love the session. Like now I feel more like a family, the Phoenix Guild. I started very much connected to it. That was great. I'm hoping for more Twitter spaces in the upcoming days. I'm sure Gyan will organize that also.
Right. Yeah, I also want, but we're also very new to the Indian ambassadors thing, right? Like to the ocean ambassadors, and then joining the Indian Ocean, like the collaboration as well. So I don't know many people on the Telegram group, like, you know, for the builders. So I want to get to know them as well. And maybe we can do like a Phoenix Guild and, you know, the builders Telegram group, some kind of collab. That'd be great.
Is Phoenix Guild only for like women or for everybody?
We've actually so then initially we wanted to like onboard as many women as possible, but we're open to all allies.
Okay.
So yeah.
So it's about mission alignments. Any initiative in Web3,
Yes.
it's about mission alignments. Everyone is welcome, right?
Yeah.
You already have apes. You have all sorts of intelligent creatures. So it's always open to everyone.
Yeah, we just wanted to make sure that more women understand there are people supporting them. So that's what we started out as, but allies are obviously like very welcome.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I really
Ravi and
appreciate
Rishabh.
that because unlike the rural stereotype that women should be always doing the housekeeping duties, these names I got into blockchain especially after joining this Women Who Code this blockchain educational series. Like
Right.
they finished third week now, so this Phoenix Guild exclusively for women. Like it makes me even more confident. Like women is not up. The responsibility of women is not just like within the family. They can achieve more, they can explore the world, they can contribute to the tech world also. Yeah, it's a good initiative actually. I would appreciate that.
Yeah, it also gives like knowing that there are like other people like me who also have the same kind of like doubts or not confident enough, things like that. I feel like it's more of like a bonding session there going
Yeah.
on all the time.
Yeah, when I share my story, like I get to know that some other women out there, she's also facing the same thing and she's also exploring. And yeah, okay, it makes me even more work even more into deep and get into this space. Like there are people out there struggling like me. I'm not the only person. It's okay. Even at whatever be the age, it's still time to learn. We can learn and yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
always great to have. I think this is what makes it much more infectious, the camaraderie that you form between guilds and circles,
For
right? I
sure,
think
yeah.
so. This is something that's kind of missing out in the Web2 non-open source world, right? You don't have you don't have collaboration in between company groups, so it's very hard to see innovation happening. So when you have a
Exactly.
collaborative space, here it's much more possible.
Yeah, yesterday Gomati was also sharing the same. She said a few years back there were no such community, and I was facing the same. You are approaching so many people. I didn't have anyone to approach. My progress was like a very long journey. I really struggled a lot, but luckily now we have these communities. So back in 2018 also, when I first heard about blockchain, I look for sources, but those were not were beyond my budget. So I thought, okay, let's concentrate on only the lab duties and the handling the students and all. By God's grace, somehow through before my end of my life, I'll somehow finish my PhD. But through this Ocean Guild, I'm very much confident. Oh, sorry, Phoenix Guild. I'm confident that by the end of 2022, I'll be submitting my thesis mostly. So these communities are actually beneficial to learn and yeah, everything.
Awesome. Yeah, you'll definitely find great support. I think this is also great for scholars as well, because I also seen a lot of scholars in this space. I also actually met a scholar today who's writing a thesis on DAOs specifically. Like his topic is self-actualizing organizations, but he's also exploring a bit of DAOs in his research. So that is also interesting to see. So more we'll have much more open source info through scholars as well. Hopefully the mentors are also supportive of such thesis topics as well. So Ravi and Rishabh, you guys have been quiet for a while. Apart from your proposal, you haven't spoken anything. Share a bit more about your Web3 journey, man.
Yeah, so I'm been a developer for a while. Hey, wait a second, some background noise. Yes, so I've been a developer for quite a while. I've worked in Web2 space or like programmer as a general. So the starting of my Web3 journey was through security actually. So I started auditing smart contracts because it was much more, you can say, new to the space, and there's very less people who can do that good enough. So I started with that, and then when I saw like Ocean Protocol is like Ocean protocol and everything is the first protocol that I really, you can say, bonded to. And I think that due to Prakash, pretty much, because it was very welcoming to all the process from hackathon to grant to that earmark and everything. So yeah, I think joining Ocean protocol and have have been quite helpful in the sense that I get to keep learning, because now that I file these proposal, now that I go for these grant, I have to keep learning. For example, when I got the earmark for one of my project, which was decentralized social media, I get to learn much more things about it. I keep researching it about it because I have to make it. So yeah, it's been helpful.
That's cool.
Awesome. I think yeah, you can always. So there is always multiple facets to this, right? So whenever you need some additional designs help that you need, you can always reach out to other people as well. And so both Nivedita and Laksh are also pretty good at design, so you can always reach out to them for any help that you need as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Ravi,
for
anything
sure.
So Ravi also had a pretty interesting lead. So usually the most of the conversation I have on LinkedIn are 90% useless ones. But somehow out of nowhere, I had a query of someone's interest in Ocean Protocol. So when I saw the query from Ravi, it was easy to make him connected to the Ocean Discord socials.
Right, actually, and I was also like going through few of the protocols. I was going through this data set, and there was one project we are separately working on. It's also a decentralized social media. It's in like still in the development phase. So for that, I was working on this. I was searching about this data set, and then I came to know about this Ocean protocol. So I joined their DAO, and then from there I came to know about. But I was still searching for one right person whom can I connect with and to get to know more about it. And then I found the Prakash on LinkedIn. So yeah.
Have you guys named the decentralized social medias yet? Like, have you decided what you're going to name it?
It depends. If you have a cool name, you can we can name it.
So
So
just wanted to ask. Oh, have you?
like there's one particular idea like on which we are working currently. Its name is Canary DAO.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, it's still in the development phase.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, bit of insights there. So it's always nice to see that. I'll say that a lot of people. So if you notice the level of funding that's going to decentralized social media, it's actually huge in number. I think the Reddit co-founder has put up close to 200, 300 million of investment just into on decentralized social media on both Solana and Polygon, because I feel like it's still going through its early Bitcoin days, because it's very hard to pick one winner. But I always believe that the one that's focus on more use cases in the start can emerge in the winner. I think the first popular one was BitCloud, but it didn't actually take off, even though it's still rebranded and pivoted a bit. There is still a search for decentralized social media. But I think the ones that cater to DAOs or cater to protocols, I think they will be the much valuable ones before we head over. And another thing is there is not one winner, right? So that is also an advantage in itself. It's always good to work on multiple use cases.
Yeah, I think decentralized social media will be successful in very narrow cases. For example, in Ocean Protocol thing, if it is working with Ocean Protocol, I think it has specific use cases to specific DAOs or protocols. I think in general that would work well. I personally don't think it can totally remove Web2 social media, but I think it will be a hybrid of both, some kind of that.
Yes, but I think the one thing I feel about the decentralized social media, have you guys like, is there any famous or a popular one decentralized social media you guys are using? Because I don't know about it, but what I personally think is that it's much required, because after like Facebook using our data, and I think if there is one decentralized social media, it's going to be popular, like which is easily scalable, or like which actively people are using. I think it is required currently in the market. Not sure if
Yeah, I think the problem is that these wallet and everything doesn't make it easy for every
right,
normal user.
right.
So I think that's where the problem is. If we can somehow solve that, I think we will.
Yeah, and I think if also when I think if decentralized social media is going to be popular, it's not going to hit on the web. I think it's more going to be hit on the mobile app.
Yeah, maybe.
That's I think, because like interacting on web, it's not going to be easy for normal users.
Yeah, not with Chrome extension, definitely.
Right.
Yeah, when they log into the decentralized social media, as you say, instead of the traditional you Google sign in, it will be asking for the wallet kind of enter your wallet something. This the new thing. People will be resistant to it. So I was also resistant actually. Like gradually, people will get used to it because everyone will be speaking about it. It's booming actually. So then they'll oh yeah, this is what the lack of awareness, I guess. Yeah, it will be
I
like
think when it comes to using wallets, it's going to be like a hand holding process. We will have to like educate people in order to get that kind of usage going. But I think and ultimately it has to be, that's the way we can bring about a new like change, bring new change. Yeah.
yeah, just like some gaming videos, gaming apps, which when we download, they'll for the first round it'll be instructing us, no, like do this, do that, like a short instruction, like what is this, what is that, like that. If you give any prompt, so that the user won't feel like it's completely new, or what do I do for that, this like a tooltip or something, if they suggest, maybe we can get some people into it faster than simply prompting the wallet as kind of a plugin, etc. Mm, I
Yeah,
just thought so.
with the upcoming layer 2 solutions, like if you, I think some of you would have interacted with the testnet of Rinkaby wallet and everything, right? So there, if you notice, it's
Yeah,
each of it transaction costs an ETH, expensive ETH transactions, right? So
yeah,
that was the reason so far why it was a little expensive to set up even a Web2 dApp.
yeah.
But now with the upcoming layer 2 solutions, it's much easier. I think we will see a lot more specific use case that is much easier to guide people. We are already seeing in some use cases, like there are some good applications like Superfluid where it gives clear cut directions on how you have to use it for distributing payments and use cases.
Hmm.
Soon we'll see a lot of such use case in regular apps as well. Rishabh, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I think from a like general like normal user point of view, I think the biggest question is that how we're going to justify that you have to let's say pay some form of money to send message. I think that's the problem we have for now. And the second is of course that it's much more easy to click a send button than just have a prompt MetaMask prompt you in, and then you have to click and transaction goes, and 3 seconds later you will be able to see some of your messages. So yeah, I think there's some technological bounce to it as well. But yeah, maybe in future.
Awesome there. So yeah, we also have Scott with us. So Scott, you want to give a short intro before your feedback on what insights you have been soaking up so far?
Yeah, hi guys. So I put together the bounty around using the Etherscan API. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Etherscan, it's basically a window into on-chain activity inside of the Ethereum ecosystem. So you can look at individual transactions, you can look at individual wallets, and you can even go into specific smart contracts. So for example, you can look at the Uniswap smart contract and see all of the activity that is happening there close to real time. And the API basically gives you access to that information. The free API gives you sort of limited access, but still within that there is a number of things that can be done. And the goal of the bounty is to basically unlock your creative uses of the Etherscan API. So that may be doing some form of simple data visualization. It could be collecting an interesting data set that may be interesting or useful for others to do some analysis on. Really, it is kind of up to you to kind of think about and unpack different ways that could be interesting for users. And I'm also here and available on Discord if you want to learn more about it or discuss potential use cases and that sort of thing. So yeah, definitely excited to see what comes up. And it's also, I believe, we spoke about being able to link up bounties. So if that's still the case, then I think if you can incorporate the Etherscan API into your project, then that would also qualify. But Prakash will confirm whether or not that's still the case.
Awesome. Yeah. Can you repeat the last part?
So, can you, as you take part in the hackathon, can you work on sort of more than one bounty at a time?
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I've been. So you can submit up to 3 if you're an ambassador. You can submit up to 2, even if you are not an ambassador. So that is one. And for the Ocean Partner tracks, I think we welcome entries from anyone in the community. That is one we have also had. So yeah, I think anyone could also have a crack at this. Yeah, I think we have a lot of folks from the builder communities that we have partnered as well, who have, I think, one of the mentors who got added to the Phoenix Skill Telegram, I think they are also from Covalent. They're also from the API background as well. So essentially, the Etherscan API challenge is about finding different ways how you can collect data around so API is essentially like a repository of data set calls, right? So that's how it works. So you can Google a bit about how Etherscan API works, and your job is to essentially give a creative spin around it in terms of how what is the creative visualization you can come up with in terms of using the open source API that is available. Of course, if you have any more doubts, you can always reach out to Scott and he can give you some examples on how you can go about it. So the first one, like I think what we can do is you can come with a creative framework and then see how it can be improved upon. You can always have some feedback from Scott, and then you can also make the submission as well. So Rishabh, have you worked on any the API frameworks before? Rishabh or Ravi, I think either of you guys can try to analyze the bounty as well. I guess they're off for a while. So yeah. So far, have you had any anyone reach out to you from the ocean missions for this Scott? At least from my end, there's someone working on this offline as well. So we're just speaking to them. So yeah, that's still in play.
Yeah, not so far that I'm aware of, but I will follow up with a few tweets and see if we can find anyone interested.
Awesome. So regarding the and just to give a brief intro about both of us, so we are also part of this working group called Project Gyan Working Group, which is part of the essentially like a sub DAO within the Ocean DAO ecosystem. So where we keep track of all the proposals that come through. So if you go look at the Discourse server here. I'll just post it. So here we keep track of all the proposals that come through the DAO every month. So an average of 30 proposals we kind of try to curate, and we had just started this activity last month, and yeah, it'll be fun to watch the proposals that come in this month and the next month as well. So this is also a fun activity. So once you guys have more familiarity, we also welcome you guys to come and have an experience of how you can contribute to guiding working groups as well. And the most easier to guide projects would be the community outreach. So even if you don't have a technical background, you can try to give your best shot at welcoming new proposals and how to guide them to how to improve their proposals. So this is also one of the interesting activities you can do after the hackathon as well.
Yep, got it.
So yeah, Lakshmi had just joined back, right?
Hi.
Hi.
Laksh, I had like a full explanation of Naksh session before this.
That's great. Let us know if you guys have any doubts or any info that you want at all. We'll always be happy to help out.
Yeah, coincidentally, we had someone from the near ecosystem as well. I think last week we had someone. So they were, yeah. So they were wanting to integrate Ocean with near ecosystem. So usually when integrating with other chains, you need an EVM bridge for that. So each blockchain network has a compatible EVM bridge. So for near, I think it is Aurora.
Aurora, yeah.
Yeah,
Even we've been in talks with Aurora, but I think there are a lot of issues with the newer bridge.
No, so basically with Aurora right now, the issue is that Aurora has not done its final technical bits with joining with like an NFT platform. So specific NFT platforms cannot bridge as of now, but they are working on it so that they can correct their contracts probably in like another 3 to 6 months. That will be done, and we are hoping to integrate Aurora onto the platform so that we can collaborate and onboard collaborate with other protocols as well.
Awesome, that's great to know. I think similarly, even Solana have a similar logistical issue as well. Even though they're on testnet, they have been able to interact with a few projects like Python Network and make the integration successful. Right. So even for Ocean, we had a discussion with them, and they were saying the same thing. So by the time the mainnet is ready, I think they'll be able to form all the bridges. Right now, it's happening through Wormhole. But yeah, regarding near, I just heard recently that the current logistical state of
Aurora.
Yeah, it's good to know as well.
Recently, yeah, I was actually reading the news that I think OpenSea is also collaborating with Solana, if I'm not wrong, because they've already collaborated with Matic, but I think there has been some issues with transactions that have gone through Matic. A lot of collectors also don't prefer the pathway through Matic, so I think they are now opening up to Solana as well. That's the latest news that I read, but I have to dive deep into it, the theories behind it, that what's their objective and stuff.
Got it. Awesome. So Rishabh, as you have you had any experience with other cross-chain use cases as well? Cross-chain or multi-chain, so to speak.
Most of the experience is like on Ethereum, but I've worked with Solana and everything. Like I'm started to learn Rust and everything, but yeah, not up to the mark.
That's good to know. I think Rust goes on both Solana as well as Near, and I think so. Gyana from Phoenix, she also runs a Rust learning group every Tuesdays, I believe.
Yeah, I saw something on Twitter. Yeah, we'll be joining it.
Hey Rishabh, let us know once you are you have a pretty much idea of Rust because we are looking for Rust developers to get on board. It would be great to collaborate within the protocols as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think I have already like worked on it when I was just learning Python and everything. So I have had experience from that perspective. But I think Solana needs, so basically everything has any OS or anything generally have some APIs in it, and that's how you work with them. So when you have to learn basically Rust from the Solana perspective as well, know the details and nits about it. So yeah, I will be doing it and probably ping you.
Sure. So, in these, so I'm not from a tech background, so
Yep.
sorry if I'm asking some silly questions.
No,
So,
no.
in these programs, do you also learn how to build like the whole smart contract as well?
So yeah, basically, if like for example, the in Ethereum, Solidity is the main language for developing smart contract, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So if you join a Solidity, any Solidity course, you will learn about Solidity, and in most of them, they will teach you how to deploy something on testnet because it doesn't cost.
Yeah.
So same way in this Solana, you can one thing I can there's some Discord quest book, you can join it, and where they have basically different quests for different chains, and one of them happens to be Solana. So they teach you about how to deploy it and how to have Rust in it, different things, and you can get that.
Oh, all right.
See, Prakash did the link.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, that kind of helps. So the main thing why like everyone should try at least once on coding, because once you see how it works, even if it's for at least 1 day experience, it will give you better directions on how you can interact with the developer and what variables you need to align and all that. So these quests are kind of simple as in like setting the dev environment will take a lot of time. You can take help from Gyan for that. So once that is done, you can try any simple one. I think the most simplest ones will be the ones on using Solana CLI. So that is something you can just use the command language prompt.
Yeah, I think the same is the same with Nears also. It's pretty easy, but the thing is, I feel like you need to know at least one language, like
Yeah.
at least one language to understand further and be able to do it yourself. So there's one more thing called crypto zombies. Gyan actually told me about it, and that's pretty fun to do. But the thing is, if I have to do the whole thing on my own, it's a completely different thing, right?
Yes.
Like I
So
Yeah.
basically, I'm also thinking about doing it. So if like we can form some form like any kind of group where we can help each other, I think that would be fine.
Yeah, that would be cool. I think there'll be people on Phoenix as well as the builders group who'd be interested as well. So we can do that. Crypto zombie is pretty fun.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I worked with that, and I think they have Solidity.
Yeah, they have Solidity and I think they have what is it called? The Facebook one, the Meta one. What's
Meta.
it called?
Okay, the Meta one. I've not seen it, but yeah,
What is
if
it?
it's the
Let me just tell you what it was.
Metaverse.
No, no. It, I've really forgotten what it was called.
Yeah, no problem. Wait, let me check. Was it Crypto Zombies, right?
Yeah.
So are you talking about Chainlink?
Chainlink.
Yeah.
Chainlink.
Yeah, I think I don't remember exactly, but I think I've worked with Chainlinks. Something I've done. I don't remember. Chainlink is also cool. Like the whole concept behind linking the off block data to the on block data is kind of interesting. It can lead to very good result.
Mm-mm.
Have you worked on any keeper contracts on Chainlink, Rishabh?
No, I've not done like that much.
Chainlink
But
actually will be a lot of game changer because so what it essentially does is whenever there is room for human error and human corrections that need to be done, it'll help in making sure that it acts an effective placeholder so that automates a bit of stuff. So that's where it kind of helps.
Yeah, generally how they do is they basically try to do the same consensus that Ethereum does on chain, but off chain. So they basically try to pick diff. So the whole point is when things are centralized, this if any error happens, it might be a manipulation, not an error. This is the basic concept. So now what they want to do is that they will set up multiple people or multiple nodes basically, and that's how they get the data, and then they calculate the average, and any node that deviates from the average, they take it away or they basically punish it some way. The same thing happens in, if anybody heard the term POS, it is similar to POW. So proof of stake, I think maybe you have heard. So that's also happened there.
The Chainlink hackathon actually was it was actually a very good beginner experience for a lot of people. That was the first hackathon where I saw. I mean, Patrick Collins, if you've seen his videos, he's an amazing beginner tutorial guy, right? So I think that hackathon. I remember so much beginners were there, and we tried our best to give a decent submission.
Yeah.
My experience was, I think I tried to work on that new concept on keeper contracts. So I was able to do that on testnet using some of the tutorials, and we're trying some use cases.
What was the keeper contract?
So keeper contract essentially means that, so essentially when you write Solidity codes, right?
Yeah.
So usually it's a way of automating, like it's essentially like if then else contract created by Chainlink. So let's say if a certain condition is met, then this Chainlink contract can execute. Then it kind of gives the go ahead, so that you don't have to wait for a manual. So it's just basically using Solidity, main Solidity code and a bit of JavaScript as well. So it just makes sure that after a certain condition is met, then it can keep pushing the contract, and you can also always do for the reverse function as well. So that's how it, like, for example, the most common use case so far people are using in betting use cases, like Chainlink also does this in DeFi price feeds, but in betting use cases you want to have a bit more effective, like making sure this bet passes only if the certain conditions are met. So
a positive use case of that would be, I think, in insurance that I thought about when I was building the hackathon or something with Chainlink. So that's what I thought. If we can somehow decentralize the whole insurance process, that would be pretty helpful.
Yeah, I think right now I think it supports 3 networks. So ETH was the only place where they used to have it. Now Polygon has it. Polygon, then Binance now they've introduced.
Yeah. So many chains. Like if you want to learn it all, that's like you're gonna take years. Like I don't think anybody knows it all.
That is fine. That's why at least to me is I just try to take this up just to see if it fits any use case. So you just try to learn one thing once and just come back to it way later, because there is not even Vitalik knows how Chainlink or the entire stack of Chainlink works. It's impossible. It's about you try to pick something and try to go full throttle on that. So that's the best way to learn. And
also I think
you guys was
in Web2, like if I think the communities never, like they form communities, but I think that in Web2 like communities are very competitive in themselves, and that's not the case for Web3. I think, like, I've joined many communities and most of them are like very welcoming, and most people are like they want to work, even like, so whenever you want to have a hackathon, so there's no new hackathon which is ETH Global, and we are participating in that. And the way we formed team is what, like, it was super quick. Somebody just messaged on one of our Discord that that we are going to participate in that, and suddenly 5 people are there, and every team is there. We have front-end developers, back-end developers, smart contract developers. Everything it's super good.
Yeah, you can always have the reverse experience also. So that's why you have to show a bit of patience. Sometimes when you respond on Discord, nobody responds. That means that people have already formed teams. So you can
Yeah.
still try to be patient. Even if you find one person who wants to help you out, you can do that.
Yeah.
So because even if you're making a very half-baked submission, learning by doing kind of helps you.
Yeah.
So in that regard, I think the quest book ones are pretty good. So
Yeah. So this decentralized social media, this was for another thing, and then it didn't went because so basically I worked on this on my exam times, as I told, and so I for a period of time I did not slept. I was working for like 3 days straight and giving exams the next day, so I didn't sleep anytime. And then when the results came, I didn't want. So I was quite frustrated with everything, because and the so basically a team won, which is of 6 people, and I worked solo on a project. So it like when you're just bitter, it seems like it's uneven and why it happened. But then again, like I texted you about it, and then here we are on Ocean Protocol. Now the same thing has an year mark and everything. So that's the thing.
yeah, and that's not even the first worst part of it. Sometimes you people split into two teams. There'll be like 10 people.
Yeah.
I've seen this also happen. So, but yeah, I think the most value you can do is if you really want to build a product, right? Like how the Naksh duo is also doing, right? So that is more valuable, right? Because
Yeah, true.
when you do that, you will automatically learn what is there to learn before you building the product. So
Yeah, the story of Naksh, like from building just an hackathon and not even doing the coding part to making an organization, is like pretty inspiring, to be honest.
Thank you. I was just going to ask, you're still building, right? The decentralized social media.
Yeah, yeah, I'm still building.
Okay. I don't know if it's a stupid question. So the Etherscan thing,
Yeah.
the one that he spoke about, is that something that you can integrate into your social media, or is that not what you would
So,
do?
so basically, the question exists. For example, your question exists because you don't know about Etherscan, right?
I
Or
mean, I've gone on Etherscan. Like I know that you
yeah.
can look up
So
you can look up ETH contracts on
yeah,
Etherscan, or like a account itself, like a wallet itself.
true. So let's say that. So basically, what Etherscan does is, so Ethereum is like a network, right? And
Yeah.
every node has all of the information of the network. So
Yeah.
if you set up a node, and you can do that actually in your own computer, you will have all the data of the whole protocol, like every transaction that ever happened in history, like in 2014 to now you will have everything. So what the Etherscan does is, they basically let these whole huge amount of data, make it index. So basically what is indexing is, they make it searchable, because
Right.
searching through this, I don't know how much data this is, like it's probably thousands of, I don't know what's above GB, so it must be very high.
Right.
Okay, so they make it's not like possible to have a query and get the answer. So they make it
Right.
they index it, and they make it able to query. So now whenever you do address, as basically write any address, they will give you all the transaction that happened. So now the question to the integration part. Now decentralized social media is about sending messages or files or any kind of media.
Yeah. So you
So,
don't want any of it to be. You want all of that to be private, basically.
not even that. Like Ether, are we even going to integrate the Etherscan API? Etherscan API only
I
gives,
was.
yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. I was thinking maybe like you can look up a person's like social media account or whatever, but that's it. That's the limit to which you should be able to. I mean, if you're able to see everything that they do, then maybe not.
So
But
okay, so messages are always end-to-end encrypted, and
right,
how we do it is basically MetaMask has two keys, public and private. Okay,
right.
so when, like for example, if I take your MetaMask and you give me your MetaMask access, which you shouldn't have, of course, but let's say you do, I get the public key, and
Right.
so whenever I encrypt a message with your public key, only your private key will be able to decrypt it, right?
Okay.
So this way, the whole system of this sending message and receiving becomes
Will be.
end-to-end encrypted.
Yeah,
So
correct.
nobody, even if somebody gets the message in between, they won't be able to decrypt it.
Okay.
So this is how it works. And Etherscan, like for example, Etherscan will give me, let's say I put an address and it gives me all the transaction that happened,
Right.
which is not really useful in our case, because we're
Got it.
just doing the thing with sending message. But Etherscan, I think, very good example that he also gave was that it can be used to visualize things. So for example, many transactions happen, okay, and basically we are very, like you can say, low effort thing we can do is we can basically plot a graph of how much ether account has, and every time a transaction happen, the graph changes.
Okay.
So we will have the count, like who has the most amount of ether, and we will be able to see it live go up and down. So that's what it is.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. That's
So Rishabh, if you're able to share screen, I've posted the link. Maybe you can check that and walk through it and give a very basic explainer of the documentation.
Etherscan. Oh, okay. Wait.
I just posted on the chat.
Yeah. Let me close some tabs first.
there are a lot of tabs, no?
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, now can you see?
Yeah, we can see.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, first of all, documentation is basically a thing where they tell you how you can use a certain product. So that's documentation. Now, okay, so what is it? Do you all people know about API?
Yes.
Everybody, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So
Yes.
API endpoints are basically the places that you can hit HTTP. Basically, you can do an HTTP request and to these URLs, and they will give you responses, specific responses to be precise. Okay. So on Etherscan, you can create an account, and then you can get an API. They have written the instruction how you can get the API, and then you get the API. Wait. Yeah, you can get the API. And once you get an API, you get access. Once you get an API key, you get access to the API, right? Because Etherscan don't want to give data for free in a way, right? They don't want to get spammed by thousands of requests. They don't even know where they're coming from. So that's why the concept of key exists, API keys exist. So once you get the API key, you can hit this endpoint URLs which is listed here. So for mainnet, this is the URL. For different testnets, these are the URLs. And for every basically for every testnet, they have different documentation. So let's say for mainnet, what are the documentation? There must be, okay, so here they are. So let's say if you want to get information about accounts from Etherscan, so what would you do is you would hit this endpoint. Wait, this endpoint. Now on here, this is your API token, right? So you would have to replace this placeholder with your actual API token. And then this is the address that you want to search the data of. And this module is equal to account test site Etherscan, that what you want to do. So here you want to get access to that account, and what you want action to be, you want to check their balance. So when you do the request, you can see in this response tab that what would you get. You would get a result which is int basically means a number, and which will tell you about all the balance that they have. And same way you can do different kind of requests. So this was for accounts. You can do for contracts. So smart contracts, you can get the access to their let's say source code, or how much, what are the transaction that they do, everything. Same way with transaction blocks and these proxies logs and everything. Like for example, gas tracker, even how much gas yeah, how much gas is there for every smart yeah, you can estimate gas. So because gas always changes, depends on miner, so they can help you with that also. And the whole, actually the project exists because it's very you need very high hardware structure to process all the data of Ethereum, because they have a huge amount of data. So you need a good structure, and that's why the project exists, and then you can access the data. Yeah,
Right.
that's all. It's not that difficult.
So I'll actually give you guys a live idea. So I'm not sure how much people are working on this, but anyways, it's recorded and this will also be useful to anyone. This is an idea that you guys can do. So every time when a hackathon happens, right, people think so much about the coding aspect, they forget the innovation actually happens on the use case. So you can actually implement this for your own use case, right? Like you're having an NFT marketplace. So think about it that way. So imagine you come up with a framework that fetches the NFT tokens itself, right? You have so much artwork for an account in place, right? So you just need to visualize somewhere where you are able to get that information using the API framework. And the other there is also another way of doing it. You also have other frameworks like Covalent API. So this is also something that is that's a powerful mechanism that brings a lot of information from the blockchain NFTs as well. So I think you can. Gyan is also part of the ambassador program, right? You can also probably make a squad out of this and make a submission for this also, if that makes sense.
Okay. Right.
Essentially,
Rishabh, actually, sorry.
Yeah, essentially like creative use case is just how you make it. You can always not just token balance. You can always get the ERC721 token balances as well. That is also something possible through these APIs. Yeah.
Okay.
Rishabh, I have a question for you actually. You explained about asymmetric cryptography, right? About the public key, private key stuff. Like I'm going to ask a question that will be pop to me during every review meeting. Like for securing the data, like especially in my case, the medical data, we'll be using some kind of encryption to preserve this confidentiality, integrity, those stuff. When I say I'll be using some algorithm like AES or something, or now in the blockchain or stuff, whatever, when I explain, I get a feedback that I shouldn't be you implement using any algorithm that is already existing. Whether it is in blockchain or something, I have to be creating an own protocol or a own encryption algorithm, whatever. Like I shouldn't be using AES, I shouldn't be using the exact blockchain protocol. Like if it is using a Merkle tree, I should be creating my own tree. That stuff I get that feedback regularly. So how come a newbie like me, like how will we do it? Like how stuff happens as a developer? What will be your answer to this question? Like
Okay,
can you
my first two question is, okay, first is not a question, first is just an expression that I don't know much about cryptography. Second is a question, which is like, who gave you this feedback?
the professors, yeah, like usually in PhD we'll be having a review meeting 6 months once. To be frank, in those 6 months, no one will be there to share feedback. Maybe I shouldn't be frank. Only on the day the people will be sharing. Even if I contact them personally, they will be saying that they are busy. Like so, I can't expect from them. So I was really amazed. How can people be so selfless? How can people contribute to the community, helping others? Like I didn't even this felt completely new actually. How come people are helping others without getting money? Like how are they so generous? Like I'm very much impressed with the tech people.
Okay, so
So
with the thing that so basically what you're talking about is there's much more cooperation in the Web3 space than
right.
we have seen before. So I think the cooperation exists because there's a need for it. So let's take my example, right? So
Okay.
I was building this decentralized application alone. And I did it successfully in terms of POC, but I lost the competition, right? So, and who won the competition was
Yeah, you shared your story, right?
our
You
team was
you didn't sleep for 3 days continuously, and still you lost it. You were saying,
yeah, so a
yeah.
team of 6 people won. And so basically the thing is, it's much more about cooperation in many cases, especially
Right.
when you're building something,
Okay.
is huge. Um, Also, the cryptographic thing, I don't think you should be, especially if you're new to this space, you should not be doing any kind of building my own cryptographic thing. It takes a huge amount of time. For example, AES you talked about, AES 256, I think was the most advanced one when I like read about it, and it was quite a while back. But so
Yeah. Okay.
these are
Yeah.
the
You
protocol that
continue.
you should be using. Other than that, if you like, so there is specific cases. So let's say there are 3 algorithms that have same level of security, right? Then the use case depends based on how fast they are. So for example, let's say there is an algorithm which doesn't which returns your output in on square. On square basically means it takes how to, it takes like exponential time with the
Okay.
input increase. You don't want this algorithm in your production because it will make your production slow, right? So in
Okay.
that use cases, when we have similar algorithms with the same level of security, we optimize for different parameters. Other than that,
Okay.
I don't, maybe your professor knows more than me. As I told, I don't know much about crypto, but I don't think you should be just going and making your own
Right.
protocol. So that's
Like
not.
I attend so many sessions by my co-scholars or the vivas or something. Traditionally, what they do is like I have modified this nth step in AES, this nth step in this data science. I have this bagging and some AI concepts. Like I'm not very much in depth about it. Like I have done this change to the AES, so there is novelty. So you are awarded PhD. But when I present something, they say it's stupid to use AES. You shouldn't be using at all. So blockchain, 51% is so common, it can be hacked easily. Like whatever I say,
Oh,
they say,
whatever.
oh, this can be hacked, that can be hacked.
Wait,
But
wait.
only after,
Who said the 51% is easily hackable?
like all the professors who are reviewing me,
Okay,
the PhD.
I don't know what to say, to be honest. Like I don't like, maybe they just know more than me. Again, I don't know much. But if somebody is
Yeah.
saying 51% is easily hackable, I don't know how much I can trust the credibility there. It's just my personal opinion, though.
Yeah, those comments made me feel like blockchain is the most difficult part in the world. I shouldn't be learning
Yeah,
it and all.
I'm like 70 or to 80% sure most of them have not used blockchain.
Yeah,
But
actually, I should like in one of the review meetings, I was asked a question like, "What are the X, Y, Z coordinates of a block? Can you explain?" Like, as far as my understanding, it don't have any X, Y,
What?
Z coordinates. Like, yeah,
It's okay. You don't need. See, the problem is so in Web3, everything is open source. It's free,
yeah. Okay.
right? So unless the folks in faculty, even faculty, they have to go outside their comfort zones. They have to look beyond research papers. So only then they'll be able to grasp the information.
Yeah,
Theoretically, they may be
only
correct if blockchain was 1 year old, but since it's 10 years old, a lot has changed.
yeah,
That's the same
especially the
thing.
51% part.
Right. Okay. Now, only in 2022, I realized that there is a lot happening outside of reading research papers. Usually, that's what will be instructed. Like, what does the research paper say about it, current research paper? Everything we should have a reference with the current, recently published research paper from IEEE. Also, the research authors, they like just like I shared with in the previous Discord call. Like one author will be saying like there will be so many blockchains and each patient should be allotted a separate blockchain, blah blah blah. So I was getting very diverse content. So I don't know which author to trust. When I shared this in the meeting, they said trust one author and follow his publication entirely. But I couldn't get that. But now it's been clear. Like even in the Ocean Protocol has so many links to learn about it. In a way that I could understand, like the Ocean 101 itself, it gave a very
See,
great idea.
at the end, like if you can, obviously it's not possible for everybody to be a programmer, right? But
Right.
if to some extent it is possible, people should know how to like read at least in some specific language. For example, let's say I am new to Ocean Protocol, right? And I
Right.
only know Prakash, okay? And I don't know anybody. Now my
Right.
only source of truth is Prakash. So if Prakash has an interpretation of something which is not true, let's say, okay, then
Okay.
if the only source of truth is him, I will inherit
Assume that
that is wrong.
that is the only. Right. I get it.
Yeah, that I will inherit something that is wrong. But if I can
Right.
just go to the code base and see what actually they implement, it is much easier. It is like I know what is happening, right? So in that sense, coding is much more like gives you the truth. But again, it's not possible because it is a huge time investment basically.
Right. In the the YouTube channel named Telesco, they are hosting a show like the Web3 World. Every weekend they'll be live with the famous crypto person. I don't remember his name now. That his presentation, he gave me an very much clear idea about what will be the future about Web3. I have the notes. Being from the academic background, I usually have the habit of taking notes. So that thing gave me more clarity than those 100 to 200 research papers which I had read in the
Have you
past 3 years. It was very much like in a way that I can understand. Unlike those research papers, they were written in complicated English terms, which the implementation part I won't be getting at all. In some papers, it will be easy to interpret, but yeah, but it won't be. Sorry, I don't. Okay.
yeah have you read the Ethereum docs page?
No.
So
Just last
they
month, one developer told me that if I have to learn something, I have to read the official documentation. Oh, so I'm learning JavaScript from that right now, like the EJS and stuff, Node.js. Currently, he said first learn the full stack thing first, and then start reading in the exploring the crypto zombies website. Since you're new to coding, you will feel difficult if you get into crypto zombies initially itself. So you just explore the full stack development, learn it, come to the Web2 space, and then go to the Web3 space. It was his recommendation. Hence, I'm doing that.
All right. That was a really good discussion, actually. So yeah, before we, I think we'll just have one more closing note. Maybe I'll ask Gyan to come engage on a topic. So just to close up on the previous discussion, it's just about how open-minded as anyone should be, right? Your curiosity should actually increase with age, but with 90% of the faculty, that's not the case. So whenever learning stops for them, that's when they start criticizing. They actually do not encourage
Yeah, I
innovation,
get
right?
it.
So that's always happening. I'll just give you one example, right? Because I'll just post the bio of the founder of Ocean Protocol. So to me, at least, I'll tell you why he's an inspiration, because he's one of the most responsive founders out there. You will not find many, like just how Rishabh was saying, right? That's only because of the infectious cycle that he has been able to give. So ever since the first time I pinged him, because I was actually asking him about some other use case. I wanted to ask him more about health tech myself, right? I wanted to create a privacy-based stack for health tech ecosystem. So he responded that Rohan is very much open to do whatever you want. You can come to join the ecosystem, make your own proposal. He was the one who actually gave that onboarding confidence on Twitter DMs itself. So then I was able to get onboarded to the Ocean Empire system. That's how I've been here for the past 4 months. And even now, when I asked Rishabh to present during the last Core Tech working group, he was actually much more open-minded, and he said there's a lot more we can learn from decentralized social media, and I'm looking to learn from Rishabh in the next few months. This is what he said. So that is an example of one open-mindedness one should have. So if you look at his bio, then if you see, he has been doing creative AI since the 2000s and 90s. While at least I never used computers since 2002 or 2000, I mean something around the part, but he had already done a lot of stuff back then. So so he is actually a very good inspiration on how curiosity should increase with age, and that's how most pro faculties are planning. That's why the academia is I won't say it's a failed ecosystem. It's from an innovation point of view,
Yeah, it
some
has
ways
changed.
it has to improve. It has to improve. The scope for improvement, I won't say it's great, right?
Yeah, when I was a student and I was graduating or doing my post graduation, I thought the professors are the most genius kind of thing, and I wanted to be that. But slowly, I realized myself, my brain getting rusted or whatever. Like, who am I turning to, despite being the top among the top 10 students since schooling? Why am I being a stupid day by day? So I'm becoming more like a fixed mindset. I'm not open to learning. So I don't want this. Like, let us
Yeah,
dive into tech field. But when I shared that, the colleagues and the senior faculties, they are saying, why do you want to become a techie? Even the developers from Amazon on Google, they are calling me for idea. You want to be a techie now? Why do you want to get the guidance from techies? Techies are just B graduates. They are very low level. Like it wa- he his portrayal was that. Like if you have done PhD, you are the god like something. But I feel that we are isolating into into the closed room and assuming that I know everything. But when I'm given a project, like I don't even know what to do despite being the field. So this community thing, I'm really loving it. Like back to school or something kind of thing. I'm doing work, unlike other, like not correcting the students' work and not correcting the criticizing others' work. I'm productive. Like, see, I feel accomplished after 4 to 5 years. That it is new. I'm feeling fresh actually. Great feeling it is. It's always good to be a student. Like if someone appreciate me, when you, Prakash and Gyan, appreciated me for submitting my first writing bounty, I felt like a school kid being rewarded for doing some achievement or something. That it is a real addiction. Like it's motivating me to move further. That thing I was lagging in the after joining PhD for the 4 years. Like I'm not achieving anything. I'm just helping the students. I'm just handling the lab sessions. That's all. But this thing is a real craze. I definitely want to be in the tech field. I want to contribute. I love this appreciation given by people. It's great. It's really great.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Yeah, it's always so. At least one philosophy I'll definitely tell everyone is you try to outgrow the first knowledge. You find someone to chase, then once you try to outgrow them, you get the fundamentals and you move on. You keep moving on. So Web3 allows for that. There is no one single person who knows everything. So it's always interoperable. Communities are always interoperable, and knowledge sharing is at much faster speed than people think. So yeah, before rounding up, I'm gonna throw a gauntlet at Gyan, especially since you joined late. So let's say if you were to take up the Etherscan API challenge, how would you advise folks to go for it? So yeah, I posted the link on the chat. So now you are the guru. The floor is yours.
Okay. I would say from an Etherscan perspective, I don't know. Like honestly, I'm also getting into the data slash blockchain area quite recently. But I want to say that I think some of the insights that could come from Etherscan that could be helpful right away. And I think this is also some buzzword that is going on. Definitely NFT data. I don't really know how we could play around with that, but something cool or something very low hanging would be just to understand what's happening in particular NFT ecosystems, especially the top ones, which are being like, becoming very popular, the bored apes or all of these, the crypto kitties and whatnot. I think Etherscan, if we give the address, the Etherscan should be able to throw a lot of data at you and probably helping making sense of that data could be something useful to both users who are looking to invest in new NFTs and holders of existing NFTs, or even people who are trying to figure out why this is so popular. So I feel like there could be two ways to go about this. One is just showing that there is so much activity in this particular ecosystem. That could be one, just kind of like static type of data, or just like transactions happening in this ecosystem, what is the total value logged, and could also show something like historical data as to from what floor price value did it reach here today. If it is 40 ETH, 60 ETH, then where did it start from? What was the journey? What was the trading journey of folks? That could be interesting. Or the other could be what is happening right now, like where are people investing, and if they are buying, then how much are they able to buy, like who are the holders of these top kind of NFTs. I think something along these lines would be interesting. Actually, this is an idea we are attempting to go for during ETH Denver, that we want to build an analytics platform for showing the NFT data, but we are still trying to navigate through what kind of data would be useful, how. I don't know if this was useful at all. But yeah, I
Whether
think
it's useful or not, I feel validated because Laksh and Nivedita, are you listening? I think
Yep.
they're not. Yeah. So this is how
Sorry,
innovation
there's a
happens.
lot of background noise here. Sorry.
Okay. So this is how innovation happens. So you see, even I'm not a coder, but I still try to guess something around how you can use Etherscan for fetching NFT data, right? So see, this is though I'm not a coder, I try to blabber some nonsense, and somehow innovation actually might happen, right? So here you had the actual tech validation, how it can actually happen. So this is maybe something you can use for your NFT marketplace as well. So that will be actually something cool to work on. So yeah, it's really a cool thing. I think this is worth a lot more than what this is. But if you can summon a really good framework out of this, I think you should also go for it. Maybe we can, Gyana can put a mentoring brief for this challenge, and you guys can submit for it as well.
yeah, I can just put. Anyways, we are planning to do this for ETH Denver, so maybe I can just give like a one pager of just like data dump, and then we'll have to navigate through what would make sense and what doesn't. Yeah, I think some of the other things, there are so many things with Etherscan. I don't know, like it could be like even like DEX data that you could get, but even DEX aggregators are doing that. But even like volumes of transactions happening on the DEXs.
So does Covalent API also, Covalent also function like
Yes,
this, right?
yes,
So
yes,
could
yes.
you give a bit more info on that?
So Covalent also has similar endpoints. I actually haven't used Etherscan. I use Covalent only, but Covalent works on similar endpoints. So you can get transactional data with various addresses. Like, for example, if you want to build a wallet, right? Um, this is an idea, and if somebody's up for it, please build it. A multi-chain wallet, right? So in one wallet you can see all the data of different chains that you have an account on. So it could be Solana, it could be Ethereum, it could be Near, and then you just from Covalent or Graph protocol, you can index the data of that particular wallet at that particular account address, and you can get different things like transactions, wallet balances. You can even I think there are endpoints. So Covalent has different endpoints, class A, class B, etc. So there are endpoints which will give you transactional balances, data related to a particular address, and historical transactions, and all of that. Then there are set of endpoints that give you NFT related data, so metadata about NFTs, your transactions related to NFTs and all that. And then class B endpoints are more around DEX. They have DEX endpoints as well, like what is the swap data, what is the total value logged in different liquidity contracts, etc. So it functions in a similar way to Graph protocol actually, except that they provide REST APIs, and Graph protocol we have to use GraphQL to write the search query and stuff. That's the difference. It's pretty much like Etherscan only, Covalent, but they support multiple chains with the same API. So we can change the chain ID and we can hit the API directly. You still use the same API. So I think Wallet is one popular thing that people build using Covalent. So if you could build something like a mobile friendly wallet which could help you uh, keep track of all your accounts on various chains, that could be something really cool. And I think quickly you can people will adopt this if it has like good and fun UI types.
Yeah, that was actually amazing insights. I would actually throw this a different quartet. So while you guys, I think you guys are all involved in different schedules. But if we have any takers for this, maybe tomorrow, let's assume that nobody else, not much queries are there during the final sprint. Maybe we can you guys can form a small squad and work on this challenge, finish it within the 2 hours, and then make a submission. Does that sound like a good idea? Do you guys have the time for tomorrow? We can do the hacking live. Just
Yeah, actually that's what I thought we'll be doing today.
we try. I mean, we did that's why today was an open hacker of our sort. So we did earlier. We had a discussion on Ravi and Rishabh's idea. So
Okay,
they had
okay.
almost made the core tech proposal for themselves. Then we're in between. We were just chatting casually and on other stuff. So tomorrow we'll. I think, to be very honest, writers, we didn't need any hacking there. Media design, I heard that you guys are doing a couple of videos, so that's also good. So yeah, I think the only area where people might need help is the Etherscan API. That is one. The design challenges are almost straightforward as well, I believe. So people are already working on that. So we can do this probably tomorrow as the first one. As
Yeah, I'm open to doing it if there are folks who can implement the full stack, like the Node.js part.
that will be actually an added bonus. Most of the people may not have the full stack, but you can do part of it for this and reuse it for successive hackathons and so on.
I can do the full stack though.
Yeah, I mean, if
You already
anybody
have
is
a
going
taker.
to write a service and put it in the front end, then I can help you with like the data part, like what would make sense to, and
Like,
what
are you
we,
talking about either Etherscan API or?
yeah, Etherscan API.
So data is already there, right?
Yeah, I mean, like we need to figure out what data we need to get and how to structure it. So that part I can help. I can help with writing the Node.js service as well, but definitely
The API service.
with the React.js or any other front end framework, I am like really bad at it. So
Yeah, front end is also quite. I'm also not good with the React, but like Node.js, I can write. I can write both because they are same JavaScript ecosystem.
yes.
But yeah, I can write in Node.js also.
Yeah, so if people are willing to like work together on this, I'm open to it.
Yeah, we can do it. We can open source it at the end.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, since anyway you guys would be at the forefront of it, others would have much more competition. So yeah, I think we'll coming to a close. So tomorrow at start time we can kick off with this, and we can do a live hack of sorts. And even if we have multiple teams who are interested to work on this, they can work on different use cases. But I think we can boldly, confidently go with this use case that we have discussed so far. And tomorrow we can have the hacking session.
And everybody's on like Ocean Protocol Discord, right?
Yeah, at least the folks, yeah, they are all there. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, if you like, can you paste like your ID so I can send you request?
You want our Discord IDs?
Yeah, if you can.
Yeah, yeah.
You can see on, I have tagged a few of folks on the Ocean Discord. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I have shared my Discord ID as well.
Yeah.
Cool. We can use the Discord for comms on this.
Yeah, Discord is like best.
Yeah, even I know most of the folks I have engaged on Discord, but I don't know the Twitter handles apart from a few. It's pretty cool.
Twitter is cool for like, I think, one time text, and then you can get them on Discord.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Anything else you guys wanted to know? Any other queries?
Nothing from my end.
We actually had a query in between. I think Anvita and Lakshmi can mention a bit about Gyan-DAO.
What is this now? Why am I?
I think Ravi thought that Gyan was a DAO at first.
That's so funny.